everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you could join me for another video, and if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. My name's Kelsey Lee and I'm all about helping you live your abiding life, and one of the ways to do that is through journaling. Journaling is one of my favorite ways of memory keeping, and today's video is all about my daily journaling challenge, in which I am spending all of 2018 journaling every single day to create 365 entries. I've already filmed my January pages, which this is just a quick flip through of some of them. So if you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend you go and check that out. I'll have that link down below for you. And of course, if you have Instagram, that's a great place to follow me as well, because with the Abiding Journal Challenge, hashtag my abiding journal, I am posting there as well all of my journaling entries, so you can see these in photo form as well. But today's video is just a flip through of all of my February spreads, in which I'll talk a little bit about them and what inspired me, what products I used, etc. So let's jump right into it. My first page is not a stunner. Basically, I just did a little bit of hand lettering. It says, "Hello February, my darling." And that is what some of my entries are. They don't always have to be super in-depth if nothing super crazy interesting happened that day. My next entry features a bowl of fa, which I used my Prismacolor pencils to color, and then I just did a little hand lettering, and then I actually used the program from a play that we went to see at the Fulton Theater to make this little pocket. And then I have a little piece tucked in there as well with some journaling about the actual play. Next up, we have some really busy spreads. So just a lot going on. Used a ton of stickers from my Create 365 memory planning. And yeah, there's just a lot going on. Probably a little bit too much, but minimalism isn't really my forte. Here we get a little simpler. Just have some hand lettering and then of course some journaling. This page I posted some of the process for in my Instagram stories, in which I used masking fluid to create this effect of raindrops. And then this next page is probably as simple as you can get. I basically just did a sticker with some doodles around it and then a lettered quote at the bottom. Next we have the start of the Olympics, and then a date night that I had with Ben and his brother and sister-in-law. We ate at Coastal Grills, and so I just took a little piece from the restaurant. I really love taking little mementos and things from places I go or things I see, whether that's a receipt or a brochure. Anything that can create a visual tie to that event is always something I like to be keeping in mind when I'm out and about. So put that in there. And then this next page, I just did some doodling of like this eye and these lips, which it kind of looks like a distorted face, but it was meant to just be two separate pieces, not really something together. And then this was for a vendor show that I did for my lip sense business. If you want to learn more about that, I do have my information linked down below. And what's cool about this page is this purple, these purple spots were an accident from me doing another page, but I actually really like the way they turned out. So this is the page that those dots were supposed to be on, and so you can see in the background I kind of used the shimmer mist to create a background effect, and then I cut up little strips of a paper to create this tiered effect at the bottom with the different vertical strips. And then just some journaling. Once again, this was a weekend long vendor show, so this is about that vendor show as well. Lip Sense is kiss proof, smudge proof, waterproof, in case you didn't know. My next page is all about a great writing day that I had for myself. And so I have this cute little typewriter at the bottom, and then here in the corner, that's actually a brad. I just wanted to zoom in on that because that brad is so cute. It's a little typewriter. And I happened to be home for that, so I was able to steal that brad from my mom's collection since she's a scrapbooker. The next day is a pretty sad one. I got a phone call from my dad letting me know that they had to put down our dog Jake, who we had rescued about 2 years ago. He was 6 years old, and it turned out that he had cancer, and it was super sudden. It wasn't expected, which is why I think it was so hard, but of course I wanted to remember him in my journaling page. He was probably the biggest dog you would ever see. He was a true Beethoven. He was over 200 pounds, and he will be very, very missed. He was such a sweet dog. So that's what that page is dedicated to. Of course, then we had Valentine's Day, and Ben made me a really sweet Valentine that was shaped like a heart, so I kind of imitated that here on the page. And then we went out for sushi, so I did a little doodle, and that doodle for the most part came from Pinterest. I really don't like this page, but it's okay. You just need to let those ones go and move forward. So that's what I did. I just kept creating, and there's lots of spreads after the fact that I really love and am proud of. But if I had stopped with this one just because I didn't like it and I had let that just cut off my creativity, then all of the good things that followed wouldn't have. So that's just a little life lesson, journaling lesson, I guess, for you, is just push past the mistakes, push past the times that you're not feeling your most creative, because you're going to have those ups and downs and you just have to roll with them. So anyways, did that spread. Then this next one was a little nicer. I really love this BLT that I made. This is probably one of my favorite spreads of February. I just love the look of creating layered washi in strips like that, especially with this big washi. And I just had a lot of fun with stickers on this page, using, of course, my Canon selfie to print out this cute little photo at the bottom of a latte that I had. And then I actually used some alpha stickers, which is something I rarely dig into. I often find it easier to just hand letter and just use a pen. But I really do love the look of alpha stickers, so I want to start using them more often in my journaling. Then Sunday, of course, we went to church, so we have a little message here about how loved we are as children of God. And then I have a little photo of one of my Instagram stories, actually, in which I talked about having a little journal party with myself. I made myself popcorn and then just did lots of journaling that day. So that was a lot of fun. So while the majority of my entries do take up one entire page, sometimes I just don't have that much to say. And so in this case, I just divided this page into two. So I did a little journaling here with a photo, and then here at the bottom, I did a doodle of a blueberry smoothie I made with my grocery haul from the previous day. And I just really loved that smoothie so much, so it was the focal point of that entry. And then this next page is probably another one of my favorites for February, mostly because this was just an amazing day. It was 78 degrees in Pennsylvania in February, which, if you're not from this area, that's pretty much unheard of. And it was so beautiful out. And so I just loved that entire day. I took Jeannie for a run in the morning and actually got up early before work, so I was productive. I went to Fair Trade Cafe, which is this awesome student-run cafe where they make all of this really organic, delicious vegetarian soup and do grilled cheeses every Wednesday, and so we went to that. And then I actually sat outside to do some of my work that day, which, once again, unheard of for February. So this spread just turned out really well. I actually used little pieces from this bag that a piece of jewelry came in. Actually, it was this ring. My mom got me this wave ring, which is super cute. It was in this bag, and I just loved the pattern of this bag, so I decided to keep it and figured I could use it in my journaling. And indeed, I really liked the way it turned out. So that for me is a really great tip that I can offer you. Is I get comments all the time, oh, I wish I could journal, I wish I could create art like you do, I wish I could scrapbook, whatever it is, but I just don't have the money. Which I understand. When you walk down the aisles of Michael's, etc., the money factor can feel very real because a lot of the products are expensive, and it's a hobby that you can pour a ton of money into if you want to. But it's 100% not necessary, guys. There are so many cost-effective ways to journal. It's pretty unbelievable, whether that's just with a pen and learning how to doodle or being really strategic in the things that you keep. So that bag is a really great example of that. There are so many times that I get packaging or similar items that are really beautiful, and I'll just save them. Or if there's like a pretty business card or anything like that that you can cut out and make your own, I highly recommend just holding on to those and just try and be more creative as you're going throughout your day and thinking about how you can use different supplies. So here I just did a quote, the whole "no matter how long the winter, spring is sure to follow," because after those really nice days and then it got colder again, I really needed the reminder that it's okay, spring will come. It will come. That was just a tease, but it's coming. And I use these really pretty stickers from Create 365. And then once again, just tiny little bit of journaling and then a little doodle on the side. Here again is one of my favorite pages, partly because it was just such a great day. So we had a very spontaneous brunch with some of our friends, and that was just so nice. And then we went to see the snow geese migration that happens in our area every year. And then I also got to go dress shopping for one of my best friend's weddings. And so she had already picked out her dress, but I got to see her wear it for the first time. And then we tried on our bridesmaids' dresses and got them fitted. But I just love the way this dress turned out because I felt super creative and proud of myself for making this, because I actually made this dress out of a doily. So I just cut the doily, and you can actually see where I cut. I just cut out the shape of the dress and then a little piece for the bodice as well. And then I just attached it with washi tape, which I had used in the spread earlier. So that was a really fun way to create that piece. And then I have a little journaling card and then some more photos underneath that. So super fun day. On this next page, I did my first ever in-home lip sense party, and so that was super fun. And if you're ever interested, I do online parties for lip sense as well. So if you want to introduce it to your friends and get some discounts for yourself, you can always just message me and we can talk about that. These next two spreads, I actually used my printables for my patrons. So if you're not familiar yet, I do have a Patreon now, and it is so exciting. Essentially the way it works is that every month you get rewards based on the tier you're at. Whatever you're willing to spend, as low as $2 a month to help support my channel, you get different rewards. And one of them is journaling printables every month. And so this is the March journaling printable, and if you join today, you will have access to them right away. So these are actually my initial watercolors that I did, my mock-up, if you will, and then when I scanned them and did some editing, this is actually what they turned into. So these are different ones than the ones you have here, but it gives you an idea of kind of my process. And on these pages, I'm mostly just talking about how excited I am to now have a Patreon and how much fun I had creating these journaling printables for you guys. And I'm currently working on my April printables, so you should look out for those as well. And then we end on a goodbye February page. I literally made this as simple can be. Just took a little piece of paper, ripped the bottom, and stuck a sticker on it. And that ended my month, and you get a little sneak preview of March as well. So those are all of my February entries, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a big thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Join our abiding family. I would so love to get to know you better, so leave me a comment. I definitely encourage you guys to check out my Instagram so that you can stay up to date with my spreads and entries as I'm creating them. I post bullet journal things there as well, basically all of the fun things you see here on YouTube. You also get even more content over on my Instagram. And if you want to be a super all-star, you can go and check out my Patreon for exclusive content just for my patrons. And I just encourage you to keep creating, keep living your own abiding life, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!